Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. Thanks to Sportsbet, I'm Roy, I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Warne Dawgs.
And Calvin.
Coach of Almighty Calvinator.
It's going to be a long season.
Well, it's been a long preseason, and finally it was here. We've rolled out our teams. We know what we're dealing with.
Do we?
It's nice to know that we've only got 2 moves to make.
It is.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah, so...
I'd like a restructure.
You would?
To be honest, I don't, but I need to catch up some points in some way.
There was just a lot happening, wasn't there?
Yep.
Some good, some not so good.
I think on the whole, though, probably if we go back to thinking about the pre-season that was...
Yes.
There's a lot of really good advice, more hits than misses.
Oh, there were, yeah.
And I think that what my ranking probably shows, and we'll get to that soon, is that we've helped other people make some really good teams.
Yeah, our strike rate would be career high, I reckon.
Yes.
18-year breakout.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get it done. 1918. And a ranking...
God help
I thought
him.
you were giving a history lesson.
It was 1918. Look, I'll tell you what.
53,000.
50 what?
807.
53,000? That's... Yeah. You know,
I
the
don't
best
think it even gets in the top third in the
doesn't it?
competition.
Oh, that's unlucky.
You know the best thing about that rank, though? That's better than what you had last year.
No, it's not. I tell you what, this is actually by far the worst I've been.
Snorted.
However, what is good is that I haven't got myself a really good ranking early on, and then it looks like a massive failure.
Yeah.
Now it's about climbing the ranks.
Yeah.
And everything looks like a win for me from here on.
Well, you know what they say. They always say...
maybe it won't, because it could still go backwards. There's 100,000 teams below me.
Round one, they always say you can throw a blanket over the top 55,000.
Anyway, I'm signing up to be the butt of all jokes again this year.
Oh, come on.
And I will be quite happy to let people be entertained and to feel like they're having some success. But if you're going to brag about being inside the top 53,000 to be better than me, you shouldn't.
I just want to know a couple of things before we move on. Like,
right.
For example,
Quick.
you know when
I'm done.
You know when you always do our rankings over.
Yes, it's gone through your head.
If this
the
is
graphics don't fit. The graphics do not fit. And I'm not sure how I'm going to fix that. Is that what you're getting at?
You just would stop doing it, wouldn't you? Like if that's how the season ended, you would never put that out again. How we've all ranked
God, no.
each year.
Because I used to get a tweet.
Yeah.
Every Sunday night with our ranking and the green vest count and all these sort of things.
But it's like always, over the years, I am clearly the best. Look at the history. You just couldn't do it if that's how the season ended.
I will still defeat Calvinator by the end of the year.
Oh, I'll tell you what, you won't end up that bad. Obviously.
No, you'll be right, dog. Chin up.
Hopefully I might climb into the top 50,000.
Why can't you win a hat off 1 week? It's a long season, mate.
A lot of points behind. Well, talk about yours then, Roy. You were next on the list.
So I got
180 points ahead.
It's only one. If you can get behind that much in 1 week, you can get in front in 1 week. That's what I always say. So 2093, it was a little bit... I reckon every year I finished right in between you two, round one. It wasn't great, but it wasn't disastrous either. So a 4-7 rank is not too bad.
Yes. Okay. Well, once again, I'm at the top of the tree. The best
Once again.
of the traders here, Roy. I
King
scored
cow.
just over 2,100 with a rank just outside of the 3,000.
Oh, boy, this is
I know.
new areas.
I know.
You've never been this high.
No, not in my life. Like, I was crossing to get over here today out of the car, and people were, like, driving past yelling at me, "Go,
King Cow."
Calvin! Go, King Cow!
Go, King.
Yeah, so, anyway, it's a good
You're
enough
like the Jamaican
start.
bobsled team. That's what it is. You're just a parody of yourself.
No, well done, though.
Yeah, that's a good solid start.
That is a good start.
That's a solid
Well
start.
done.
Well, it definitely wasn't as good as Mitch Gill, who was the winner for the week and sitting at number 1 overall. I wish Zach Dawson played for Freo still is the team name. So
Good name.
2287.
Oh, boy.
And that looks good. You can check that out on the socials. But as said by a few people, got to get your team in order, otherwise it's invalid. The price or whatever.
Good.
But a good team. We had a good look over that, and it does, it should do pretty well.
Yeah,
I
it's a
think
good
it's
team.
probably some of the key things he went with was Blake Howe's on field, so
Yeah,
went a
right.
rookie on field there. Really nailed sort of the midfield by getting Tom Green, obviously, as skipper, and took on Nick Dacos, 123 as the VC.
Did he?
Went with
He's gutsy
Tom
player.
Green, but also had Caleb Sarong,
Oh,
who
there
was
you
the
go.
highest scorer of the round. A couple of other big popping ones that were unique.
boy.
Oh, no. A couple of big popping ones that were unique, such as, who we got there? Noah Anderson, 126.
Yep.
And who else did he have? Oh, Flanders Cow, your boy.
Yep.
Went the Luke Jackson option. So a lot of nice things there, but I reckon float your team around in order, although that might be the good luck charm.
It might be what
it is.
It's part of his strategy, Warne Dawg.
Yeah, it could be. Now, some of the other things of note and things to know is that the hat watch, and it is very early to do this.
Look.
But 2,193 points
Yeah.
is currently what you need to be in the top 100.
I had a peek.
And that's Bash
I had
Up
a
for
peek.
fun. Who is there?
85 points behind Hat, Roy, at the moment.
Is that all?
That's
How many?
85.
Jeez.
Wow,
You're
hey.
a chance.
Yeah.
I do like 101, so 101st there, Swanee's Pig Pack.
I love it.
do like that for a name there. And 1,000th overall, 2141. So you're not even far off that, V8, being
No.
the top 1,000.
No. So I'm
That
going to
would
roll this year. I'm gonna,
certainly be a PB.
yeah, that's a goal mine this year, Roy.
Yeah, good on you.
All right, big part of our Monday podcast is to talk about things that we loved and the things that we hated through our +3 and -3. Let's start with something positive.
Here it is! That's what you did, Jenny. You stuck it right up them.
All right, +3 that is. So the good thing that happened in our team. Who wants to start us off?
I'll start.
Okay.
There has been so much discussion and happiness and sadness already through the ruck department. Every year. Every year this happens. There's only 2 of them.
Yep.
And they cause so much distress. But for Max to come out back as sole ruck, obviously first time we had access to his points,
Yeah.
137.
Big.
Coming off that disappointing opening round.
Yep.
Hopefully he didn't jump at that shadow because he was always going to come back after the criticism. 137, Max killed it. +3.
Love it. I jumped on, as most of us did, Roy, Isaac Heaney, 125. So he was great last week, great again this week. Had an $86,000 price rise off the back of that, which is always going to happen.
Yes.
Big one, because he had a nice opening
Double.
round score, priced at 80. Calvinator, you should have done it.
I should have.
You would have felt sick about that on Friday night.
Yeah, I did. I was cheering against all of his goals. I was trying everything I could, Roy.
He missed a couple of kickable ones
Well,
for
yeah,
him
that was
too.
my influence, I'm sure.
Oh, well
Instead
done.
of him, though, Cal, you were a bit more stoked. You got a bigger +3 score than us.
Yes, it's so nice to have a vice captain on a man called Tom Green who pumps out a 145 and you can just put your feet up
Yeah.
and relax.
Yes.
And roll out the weekend. But yeah,
he
he
was
was awesome.
hungry. He was
And
hungry
he
for the
was
pill.
hungry as and yelling at teammates when they weren't giving it to him.
Fair enough too.
Oh, well, that'll make up for the buy that he'll have coming up soon, Cal,
I
and you might be struggling with
That's a
that.
concern.
It was the most disgraceful display I've ever seen.
Because it's just not acceptable.
Okay. 53 points from Brodie Grundy is not acceptable, Roy.
Especially after last week.
Come on, man.
Jeez, you just
How?
talked about these rucks.
Yeah.
I'm going to use a trade already here
Yeah.
on him.
Yeah.
And it's only the first round's gone.
But it's only a fortnight ago that he
I know.
dominated against Max.
Like, how can you be 70 points worse?
Yeah.
7 free kicks against. That
I
didn't
know,
help.
that hurts.
It does hurt because it made him, last week's score made him a must-have.
Yes.
Well, a pick that we were just
Yeah,
going to have to
for
do
sure.
anyway.
It was a
in the end.
walk-up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that really sucks, Roy.
Wines.
Oh.
Crouch Wines. Crouch Wines. Oh, Wines. He's the number one banana now, they say.
Oh,
Attending
Barry's
the most
playing.
CBAs.
Barry's playing. Oh, no.
Oh, wrong call. Bad wrong call. So Wines, he turns out he was the 4th banana.
He was.
So back to like last year.
Yep.
Hardly in there. So he's my -3 for a 72. And round 1 price drops are inexcusable. And he dropped in value.
Oh, wow.
-3 and on the chopping block.
Fair enough.
All right.
Have you got one, Doug?
-3. I've got a lot.
Okay.
The one that I'm going to give it to is Marcus Bontempelli.
See.
Oh, he's gone press conference. Week 1.
I, Warnie, coach of the mighty, no, we'll scratch that, the Warne Dawgs, wish to apologise for misleading anyone who didn't take notice of my team in the last month. I was strong early in the pre-season about not starting Bontempelli. This was for the simple fact of his price and the mission to hunt value that has been the philosophy of the Warne Dawgs for more than a decade.
It has.
Probably longer even. Calvinator was strong on starting him.
It's true.
I couldn't see it. But then I saw that big man in the flesh in that pracky game where all the stars don't need to bother, coupled with the ample cash floating around in my team and the want to go down the guns and rookie route. And then the buy plan. And then a captain. Anyway, he came into my team.
I can't believe that.
I needed a captain. Calvinator. I apologise.
Yep.
No, scratch that. All I'm going to tell you is that I was right all along.
You were.
You do not start these fully priced players because I'll go out there and give you one ordinary score, that 90 points. I could have gone in so many different directions and my team wouldn't be as bad. I would have had another captain that could have been better and would have been Zach. I would have been Claude a bit of...
Okay. First, there's two words I'd like to define you as.
What?
Deceptive and weak.
How is that deceptive? Everyone knows this in the last month that I was moving in that direction. Every little bit of team reveal.
Okay, then. Just weak, then.
Well, and you are weak if you do something that you...
He gets FOMO.
Say.
He gets stressed out.
Look,
you could have gone Tom Green instead.
Could have done.
There was a stage in that game where Bont was on track for 150.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So I don't know what happened
Half-time,
there.
though, and this is the issue. The -3 comes from basically a 20-point second half.
That's not good enough.
He had 70 at the half-time.
Yeah.
He went in the sheds. He must have hit someone in there and got a free kick against or something because he went down to 67. Gave away a couple of free kicks early in the third quarter. He just didn't make it happen, but I wonder if it was something to do with old mate Riley not being out there with him. That could have helped him.
Yeah, Bevo probably swung the magnets.
Who knows?
Who would know?
Bevo. Anyway, that's me. Done with the -3. I could be here all day to talk about some more, but I don't necessarily.
I was worried. When I heard the press conference music, I thought, he's done.
Well, I thought we were done.
He's done.
You won't lose me. I will be here. You'll be carrying me out over here in a bloody coffin, I reckon. Stick it here because no one can take the role of this bloody punching bag that I'll be this year as well.
Oh, mate. Wait, I've had my turn. Don't worry about that. It's only been 1 week, dog.
Yeah, 1 week. Yeah, this is the thing. I haven't actually experienced this very often, Calvinator. I need the thick skin.
Poor bugger.
Like you. Anyway, there it is. +3s and -3s for this week. Can't wait to see who's on the list for next week. A couple of favourites, I reckon. All right, votes are in for the Michael Barlow medal. That's our cash cow of the year. Now, for round 2, Colby McKercher gets the 5 votes.
Yes, the kid from my home group, dog, was the best of the rookies with 22 touches and 8 marks. But what set him up was that 32 points he scored in time on in the first quarter. Oink, oink, he's a pig.
Oh, it was amazing to watch. Oliver Dempsey kicked 3 goals for the Cats to post a score of 92 and get 4 votes. He made 48k this week and has a new break-even of -10.
3 votes goes to Jeremy Sharp for his 79 points on the wing for the Dockers. He looked really good, and I reckon he's in the mix now for an on-field spot in our midfield rookie rotation that we've got going on.
Matt Roberts saved himself late to rack up 68 points and claim the 2 votes. I'm excited because he'll get that defender status at the end of round 6.
Finally, 1 vote goes to Riley Sanders. He was racking up the fantasy numbers in his debut with 15 disposals and 68 points into the third quarter before Bevo subbed him. Come on, man. Seriously.
The leaderboard has Matt Roberts there on 7 votes. Colby has the 5 with Blake Howes and Oliver Dempsey 4 votes each.
Here's the news of the week you need to know on the official AFL Fantasy podcast.
Few bits and pieces that we've got to take out of the weekend, injury-wise, and a couple of suspensions there that are an issue. Let's talk a bit in chronological order, basically, because that's how I wrote them down. So Thursday night footy, it's night follow day. as does a hamstring to Dion Prestia.
Yeah,
Did
poor
we
bugger.
just leave the notes from last
Same
week?
as
I
last year.
did check that, but yeah, poor old Prestia got 21 points he had,
Yeah, it sucks.
which was on field in my about 3 draft
Oh, you've just had an absolute
Just gone,
stinker.
yeah, everywhere. Also in that game, and this is very sad news, not that Prestigious isn't, but Josh Gibkiss, ACL, that was devastating.
Have mercy.
So a lot of people have launched onto him on the bench as well, so that sucks for any form of cash generation there, but also for him to be out of the game for 12 months after the run of issues he's had, the poor guy.
not fair.
Because he did start his first season. He was off to, he was looking good and important for that Richmond backline. Also back there, Tyler Young, concussion for him. Another backline player, rookie one, Zach Reed, hamstring awareness they call
Awareness,
it.
eh?
But they subbed him out for it. And definitely not enough points because his price went backwards. So,
It's not ideal.
no, it's
He
not.
he looked worth paying up for, didn't he, after that preseason game?
He definitely did. Now, Gota did his hind leg in that game. So, sorry. Sorry, Gota. It's funny. Stocker hurt his back. Pedal had a broken nose. And Jordan Butts a bit of a foot. McEntee concussion. Carl Warner
Kick in the
concussion. Carl Warner, that was a big hit in that Freo game. So
Huge.
poor dude. He's out. He'll be out with concussion. McDonald a knee there. Cox with a hamstring, which is interesting and important in this because I think we've got something on a bit of Hayden Young.
Hayden Young, yeah. So he ended up going back in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Didn't
No
have a
CBAs.
CBA.
No CBAs for that. And he only scored 7.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I feel like they'll just bring in a defender and reset.
You'd hope so.
I think so. I'm confident.
McKenna hammy in that last game there. So a little bit of walking wounded, a couple of boys from the defence of the Lions and Gardner too with a bit of knee soreness. Now, the MRO has old mate Redmond striking Duke Newcombe. Must have had him in his fancy team, I reckon, 1 week. No good there, but sick dog.
Classic.
Early on.
Come on.
The sick flog he was when he launched into poor old Andy McGrath. Like, Andy was going at him and he was ready to tell him something, but he launched and lifted him and then tried to kick him. He tried to kick him. So he's got a 1 week suspension from that.
Sick thought he was getting an easy +3 there. Because he ended the day, this is Sicily, on 30 points and now has a break even of 163.
The writing was on the wall as soon as the ball was bounced sick. He just didn't look himself, did he?
And that's classic sick.
It is.
Sick dog. Right, and Malcolm Roses, he got a week suspension.
Okay.
Right, done.
Cross him off the list.
All right, let's get into the big talking points, I guess, of the week. And we're back to our rules of 2 trades per week. But this isn't a normal week either because we do have a bye this week. Brisbane and Carlton are on the bye. Who have we got from the Lions or the Blues?
Zach Williams.
Only Zach Williams.
He's the only one, isn't he?
Yes.
only one.
Yes, he is.
So probably through strategy of not having any.
And both of those teams remarkably irrelevant this year.
Yeah.
But for
For what? For what
projected
reasons?
top 4s.
Irrelevant as teams?
Not as team, as fantasy.
Oh, right,
God,
okay.
Dog, they're going to be top 4.
The Lions are different too, the Blues.
No, the
Look at
Lions
Dog.
are in trouble, actually.
He found a little angle there.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to clip that up. Roy says that the Blues are irrelevant.
See, this is what they do in the media. They make stories by twisting words.
They do.
No, Blues, 2 and zip.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they?
You booked your September tickets already?
I'm trying.
All right. The biggest issue, I guess, of the week, and there's a lot of talking points out of the weekend, and of course they are when we're here into using our 2 trades, and fix-up trades is what it's all about early in the season. The first couple of weeks, we want to make sure we've got the right players in our side. Players that you missed.
Yeah.
If one was a super clanger, you got to get rid of them, and I don't know whether we're classifying this in a must trade out, but Brodie Grundy, 53 points. So he's obviously had a 120 in opening round, which sat there. He's gone up a little bit in cash this week, so that's all good. He's done the right thing with that. But the 53 points now will sit in his rolling average because what happens with that is that the most recent score affects more of the price change than ones a while ago.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. It's trade or hold, obviously. Most people have got him. He's highly owned, and there were a few high fantasy IQ moves of trying to put him on the bench and stuff. But geez, that was fraught with danger with some of the things. I think some coaches got maybe not lucky, but like it worked out the right way for them because it could have worked out in a negative way.
Big time it could have.
The simple move for Brodie Grundy is probably bringing in Tristan Xerri.
Yes.
That would be the one.
He means Xerri.
Oh, right. Thanks, Doc.
You save 93K doing this, so that money could be used in some sort of way. And obviously the X was epic.
Yeah.
Wasn't he ever?
Everything we talked about in the preseason, he did. Like when we were comparing him and Grundy, one thing we talked about was X's follow-up work and the intensity of it.
Yeah.
So either he hunts the pill or he hunts whoever gets the pill. Probably doesn't even care what team they're on. He's going to tackle them. I think he laid 9 or something extraordinary, which is elite. I think Grundy is going to be fine. That's the flip side of this for me. He's got a nice draw ahead. He's 2 weeks off a 120.
He had 8 touches.
Yeah, that was a one.
That's not
8
happening
touches.
again.
Well, I don't know. It easily could. So Xerri actually plays against Freo on Saturday, and that's obviously against Luke Jackson.
Yeah.
Oscar
Darcy won't be back just yet, but he sounds like it's getting closer
close.
though. One
He's
or two,
pretty
he
confident.
said.
Yeah.
So, yeah, both have good matchups this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so to get rid of, like, I'm not trading out Brodie Grundy because I wouldn't want to back him in. It's just the dollars. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
You're getting off a guy that's going to have a little bit of stunted growth.
Yes.
And I'm getting in a guy that busted out a 120 that is going up. He will be worth more than Grundy in 3 weeks' time. Doesn't have a buy like Grundy does. It's just a simple strategy play as such.
I agree.
Yeah, it is. Could you go up?
So if you went up, and so that's if you already had Xerri. Because
Yes.
I think that's the thing with these guys is that I reckon you've got to go. Max is the next one. So it's 145K up from Grundy. So that's achievable, I would say, in some sort of way, because there are a few other, that secondary move this week could help you do that.
Yeah.
Who would you, you'd have to go X over Max, would you?
I think he's
Just
got to
for the
be the
value?
number one ruck target this week. Given that a 120, he wasn't mucking around out there, was
when
he?
you think about it, he was only 16, 17 points behind what Max did.
And he was against Briggsy.
Yeah. It's a big mark.
Briggsy, you got to work hard against him.
Now, the other option might be going right to the top, and that might be just banking your... Well, Marshall, we've probably got Marshall over English.
Yes.
But could you do that? It's just, is it just too much coin to
I think
consider
you'd have
that?
to stretch too far to do it.
You'd have to make some big changes.
Yeah.
The hold could be in play.
A hold is 100% in play.
What's the world where the hold is in play then? What would you need to be doing with your other moves then if you were to hold?
Well, there's
Grundy?
people that have, like, dead red dots already.
Yep.
Like, so you might be wanting to patch those up. Or,
If you've got someone to patch it up with, that's one part of that.
well, that's true. But there's also real clanger picks out there that are worse than Grundy. At least Grundy had 120 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
If you've come out and started someone like a unique-ish, like Budarick, he got 25.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
That's a higher priority
100%
than
it
Grundy.
is. 100%.
I mean, the conditions sucked for him and stuff like that, but that 25's hanging around.
It is.
Your little underpriced guy is all of a sudden
Very.
not underpriced.
Yeah.
And you're playing him on field.
Yeah.
Like that's awful.
there's a problem you'd have to patch up. And then
And got a
if
buy
you-
coming up too.
Yeah, so and if you factor all that in and if you've got players like that, all of a sudden Grundy doesn't look actually that bad.
No.
There is upside there.
There is. Yep.
Okay, so that might take us to some of the hold and folds that we've got. Of players that have some popularity or have been picked, whether you just cut your losses now or you back them in. So, well, let's go Budarick. I reckon that's a cut your losses.
Cut.
Because there are
100%.
some options there, I guess, that you can be doing and maybe a bit of a restructure in some form.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Even just
gotta
cutting,
get off it.
play the break-even game with it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And go to
D'Ambrosio.
Massimo, yeah.
Yep, that could work. All right, Fisher, 60-odd.
It wasn't good enough.
GWS matchup.
Look, and there you go. And for me, that's a hold. It has to be.
Yeah.
68.
Yeah, it was
Finish
gross.
those. Yep.
And, like, you got to worry, though. Like, Colby, he didn't struggle to find space and yell at
that
his
role.
teammates
Yeah.
for the ball. Fish, yeah, it wasn't good, but I think he'll bounce back to, like, an 85 plus this week.
Okay.
Good matchup.
Yeah.
Now, the next one was Duke and Newcombe. I am Duke Newcombe.
Yes.
Now, that was not good enough. What do you have?
Like 60
60.
something. So a problem with Duke here is the fact that he's clogging up a premium midfield spot as well.
Yeah.
At least Fisher is just taking the spot of like meh forwards
Yep.
that didn't do a lot anyway, the alternatives. Whereas Nuke, he's holding the spot of people that were pumping out 120s.
Yeah.
So that's not okay.
That's got to be fixed up with either a mid-pricer that you
Yeah.
missed out on, or you're just getting up to a guy that you can rely on.
So did he actually struggle a little bit more without Will Day?
Potentially. But he didn't in that practice game. But
I
then
know,
the
and that's why
Bulldogs...
you
But
picked
that's,
him off almost,
Yeah.
wasn't
but
it?
that's the Bulldogs, and we saw the scores that they gave up to Melbourne. So it could even be a little bit of a scala hardness thing. But he didn't even feature in Hawthorn's top 10 scorers.
No.
Like, that's pretty bad.
I could not see that one coming.
The Bombers were pretty good, though.
They were. Hogged the ball a lot, too.
And that's
some
probably
good
one
scores.
part of it. Like
Yeah.
the Bombers did.
So,
have it in their
no,
hands.
he's got to go.
Yeah. I'm
Because
feeling
you've got
that way as
options
well.
either side. You've got options down and you've got options above.
What about his teammate there, Cam Mackenzie, as well? That was not good. That's a 40.
That's
and
gotta
that could have
go.
been a quick pivot for some coaches off Sardis, who
Yes.
was named on the field.
That's right.
Named on the field and then made sub. Thanks, Mr. Scott.
Well, there we go.
So, yeah, that's an issue. He's got to go because you probably were in that mix of Sardis, Mackenzie and Fyfe.
Fyfe,
yeah.
And which one worked?
Yeah.
Bloody Fyfe.
Old boy.
Fyfe, got it done.
He was
He
good.
did. He was great. Yeah.
You take that, definitely, every day of the week. So that's there. We'll stay with the Hawks. Amon, 80.
Got to go.
Does he? What do you have to go? Where do you go there?
Like Bonner.
Yeah, so you go
If you
down,
didn't, yeah,
get some coin.
I think so.
Yeah. If you didn't do Martin, because they were basically, the like for like almost in that, weren't they?
Yeah, so he only scored 13 less than
Yeah.
Martin.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be worth flicking that one, would it?
Yeah, no. Well, not necessarily. But I liked Martin. Martin looked a lot better.
Did. You know the best thing about him?
What's that? That he
His
had a few
pathetic
clangers.
disposal efficiency will ensure that he is never tagged back
We're not
there.
getting any attention on him.
Yeah.
Great work. I reckon he did that smartly.
Yeah, clever.
He went into that game knowing that
Yeah,
might be
a few
the thing.
shanks.
Rightio, Wardlaw. That wasn't a success.
No.
Hard matchup once again, though.
Would you be jumping
Does he
off?
get another one? Like he's got Freo at home this week. Do you give him one more at home, Roy?
Still He plays for North Melbourne
I know.
still.
Yes.
I would be tempted to move on.
Yeah, I would be as
There
well.
are a couple there that he can go to. Again, Bonner is a good
Yes.
example for that,
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yes, I'd be definitely going to Bonner if you didn't have him.
And finally, Roy,
Yes.
Cow. I'm not sure if you're on board here. Wines.
Oh,
No, I don't
of
have
course you
players
don't. No
like
wonder you rank so well.
that. I don't have players like that.
That was not good, Roy.
nah, it was hopeless, in fact. So to pick him over Crouch, and a little bit of it was that easy matchup to start with, where I thought he was going to be the number one CBA guy.
He wasn't.
He certainly wasn't, and no, he has to go for me.
So, yeah, I'm looking at it now. So he was legit the fourth banana. Horn Francis number one. Butters and Rosie equal second with 17 CBAs, and then Rosie with 13. Even Jackson. Wines with 13.
Yeah.
Even Jackson Mead for speed got 10.
Yeah,
Yeah, the mead was all right.
So
100%. I'd have Mead in there instead of Wines.
yeah, I would as well.
Brings the speed.
The other issue that coaches should be looking at, and it is fixing the rookies. Like, you've got to make sure you've got cash generation. That trumps, well, it doesn't really trump points as such because they go hand in hand, but your team needs to be making money. So let's look across the lines of where we maybe should have landed or could have landed or what that would look like. Defenders, we've lost a couple.
Yeah.
Like, talking about Gibcus there and also Reed, but Howes was the must-have.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I think we've all got him sitting there at 66,
Yeah.
so he's backed up, making some coin. Marty Hall played his first game, and we probably, in the preseason, were keen on him. Then sort of thought that, he didn't play around zeros, but he came in for this week. 62, got himself there in the end. Went up a bit, up to 328k, probably too much
think
now,
so.
especially to have on your bench. And I was like looking at that move for my Reed to
Reed,
go to
yeah.
him. But the cash will be there, and knowing that he's probably going to play for a couple of players over the next couple of weeks. But will his score be best 18? Probably not. No. So we've got, so he's an option there. But Charlie Dean was much better in game 2 with a 51, so he's up to 239k. That could be a little move from Reid or Gibcus.
Yep.
Bodie Ewland, so he wasn't any good in game 1. 41 in game 2.
Getting there.
So
Moving in the right direction.
He's learning.
234K he will cost you. But that's a hard one to move. Like, I'm now in the mind of, you're a Reid owner, Roy.
No.
Oh, Cowies.
I got Pinky, mate.
Oh, Pink. Oh, I didn't even write him down.
Oh,
What
come
did Pinky
on.
have?
He was all right.
He had 33 or so.
Oh,
Yeah.
Get him in. Probably didn't change price by much then.
No, he wouldn't have moved.
Value. But
Stop
Cal,
it.
Are you considering then just Reid holding?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
I've actually got a couple other guys I need to get in the one rookie in the midfield, which I need to fix up.
Okay, let's talk midfield. So McKercher with the 92, lock on field. We need to have him.
Yep.
I didn't have him on field. Roy, you didn't have him on field either.
No,
What a
God.
clanger that was.
And it's inexcusable by us, really, who's watched him dominate since he was like
exactly.
12. And then we didn't do that.
No.
Silly.
He used to kick the ball better than us at our Masters
Oh,
training
yes.
when he was 11.
Yep.
Yes, guilty.
The other one, Sharp. He scored 79. He's up to 319K. Is that getting too much to grab, or
It's getting close. It's getting close because we don't want
Well, it
to.
has to be this week, essentially.
It does. It
Might be a bit
does.
too much.
It's getting
I've
there.
missed him too.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, he's a guy that you may need on your field because we're not
Yeah.
going to play Jai Clark on there anymore.
No.
32
And
he had.
What about Sanders? Is he now a vest risk?
Yeah, so Sanders 68, and Roberts also had the 68. So Roberts has nice price rises there, and I'm confident enough to play him on
Same.
field. Sanders was the walk-up on field as well,
Yes.
but if Bevo's going to play Bevo games with him, does that vest mean that that's game over? Like is that his
So-
vest for a little while, or is this something where he could turn
Look,
into a whipping boy?
Look, well, you never know how Bevo's going to react, but that's going to be called out. That move is going to be called out all week because it was so ridiculous.
There was a couple of turnovers there, and that's what it was. It was almost
Yeah.
a bit of a dummy spit, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Like just
it
to go,
was. That's what it appeared
you're
like.
the scapegoat.
Yeah,
Or as
yeah.
Calvin would call
Rather
it,
than thinking
scapegoat.
at least you're getting your hands on it, it was better to not touch it than to turn it over. So that'll be interesting. But I'm definitely comfortable throwing him
Yeah.
on the ground this week, fully expecting him not to get a vest. And also, it's best 18 anyway.
It is best
so
18.
he's got access to the most points out of all the rookies there.
Yes.
Ruck, no one to talk about. We'll land on Roberts.
No, on
Harry.
Oh, Harry.
Harry Barnett.
Harry Barnett,
Yeah.
sorry.
He wore the captaincy badge too, the big fella.
He did.
He's playing really
On
well.
debut.
Yes, he loved
Well
it.
done.
Right. Because I guess the other ones where Reedy possibly was an option, and even I saw Livingston.
I presume.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely was him.
Now, the forward line, this is going to be interesting because it could be a bit of a horses for courses, and no one really stepped right up. Dempsey, obviously, with that 92 was huge. So 3 goals. That's got him up to 300K. Is that price for a forward that could be sporadic too much to pay in a shuffle? Rookie shuffle.
Last week,
He's making some
it would have
coins
been
still.
a great purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This week, that 92 will hang around, like you said, but it's a lot for someone you're just going to throw on the pine and won't kick 3 goals every week.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So we've got Harley Reid, 55, started very well.
did.
I reckon he was on track for the ton.
He had
I think.
25 in the first quarter,
Well,
8 touches.
yep.
Yeah, only ended up on 16.
Obviously, the hard matchup, red on the scale of hardness.
Oh, yes.
But
Very
he also
red.
plays for West Coast.
They don't
which
get
is-
enough of the pill
No.
for him to get some easy ball, do they?
What have I got written down here? So, out of the 14 top scorers, Port Adelaide had 13. So, yeah, it's a red team.
It's only going to get easier for him from there, though. Like Port at Port, that's
Yeah.
a tough
one to start, yeah.
Yeah, so it will get better.
Darcy Wilson, 63.
That's a pass.
All right in the end.
Yep, that's
He did
100%.
well to save that.
Yeah, so confident enough just
Yeah.
to keep rolling with him.
I think so. So he took a mark and kicked a goal in the last
Yeah.
couple of minutes to get to
Yeah,
that,
I
which
know.
was
But even that,
Big
for
save.
him, that's Geelong in Geelong on
Yeah.
debut.
Oh,
that's
Like,
tough.
it's a tough
And
it's a
St
tough
Kilda's fixture comes good, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Kel?
so they've got Collingwood this week on Thursday night. So, yeah, you think he should be fine.
there.
Windsor was subbed out, but scored 58, so that's more than he scored in
Yeah.
his pracky and
Look,
his overground.
he proved me wrong.
Yeah,
I
he was
thought,
good.
Yeah, he is.
Lazaro 52 against GWS.
That's a pass.
Yeah, and then Campbell as well has been all right for coaches there too that have gone there.
Do you know what? I think you're actually very generous calling that a pass from Lazaro.
In the matchup.
He's not a rookie.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, he should be more experienced enough to be producing better than that. The role he had was fine.
Yeah.
There was access to points. 60-65 was a...
So he had 53%
Minimum,
of
I
their
thought.
CBAs.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's unacceptable, really, to be honest.
They're the rookies. So a key is making sure you got those in check, which I reckon most people have because
Yep.
I reckon a fortnight out.
So
We were still... This is the same set of rookies that we were talking about then.
Yes.
And I reckon most people did.
out of the rookies, who do you feel that you've missed?
Dempsey's the only real one, but also
Yeah.
I guess that I will have a red dot in the back line, which sucks.
Yep.
Unless I fix that up this week.
What about you, Roy?
Sharp is the one that I couldn't quite afford.
Yeah.
And I highly regret, but now I've nearly missed, I think.
Yeah. I'm the same. I feel like I've missed Sharp. I'm happy to launch, I reckon, if I need to.
Yeah.
So we did talk about some of the hold and folds. Some of the players that we could go to are these ones that are popped,
Yes.
basically. And very much names that we had discussed there. Roy, you've made a little bit of a list and you've got Crouch at the top of it.
Yeah, I keep talking about him because that's the one that almost stings the most after Xerri for me because we were really big on him, jumped at shadows. So Matt Crouch was awesome, 113. Conditions did suit, as you said, Dog. Like he's built for that stuff. But he was great, break even of 69 now, still underpriced.
So the Adelaide banana makeup, right? So we've got Jordan Dawson was the number one with 84% of CBAs. Matt Crouch number two with 68%. Then Lairdy, who only had just over half.
Yeah.
Rankin popped his head in for 7, Berry 6, Saligo 3.
Yeah, so Crouchy, he's ticking a lot of boxes.
He
now,
is.
Massimo, Dog, you saw him firsthand.
He was good.
That showed that preseason stuff was no fluke. 94 he had. He's got a break even now of 29, 498. So if you're struggling with
There's
a
your
Budarick or someone...
pivot.
Yeah.
If you had Caulfield, that was probably another name we could have thrown in
Oh,
there 'cause he only
yes.
had 44.
44.
You can get up to him from there.
So Amon didn't do much back there, nor did Sick Dog. So what's the go?
Yeah, I guess he just floats. He's a bit of a different player, I suppose.
So were they going out of their way to look for him, or he was just getting to the right spots?
He only had 4 marks.
Yeah.
And 29 touches.
He worked pretty hard. He covered ground pretty well.
Well, he's definitely a play, I think.
He's a break-even play with that 29 break-even. Roy, you are a bit keen on Billings as an option here. So sub in the first game and then came out and bust a massive 140.
Yeah, so my ears pricked up when Goodwin was talking about Billings after that subbing because it did surprise a lot of people because he came in, he's had a good impact over the preseason, and then Goodwin said, basically, mark my words, he's a required player and he's going to be very important for us moving forward.
Right.
Move forward, and he has a 140 with 15 marks.
Yep. Ridiculous.
From his 23 possessions. Now,
15 marks sustainable? No,
definitely not. But is the ceiling there now?
Yeah.
Like it is.
And that in his price.
Yeah, exactly right. So he's priced at 538, break even of 31. Like what you can't say he won't have the potential to average 85 if he's doing hitting 140.
Imagine if he hit that last week, wasn't the sub, and did that last week, we all would have had him in
big
our
time.
teams.
So, if you're looking to reshuffle a little bit and you haven't got a whole heap of money to spend to get one of those forward rookies off, he's one that I'm certainly considering. Now,
So similar price to Fyfe.
Yes.
If you had your Mackenzie or had your Sardis or someone there like that, is it Billings over Fyfe?
well, I have to say yes because of that score. Like I loved what I saw from Fyfe, but God, that's
a 140.
That's a big score.
It's a 140.
Bonner just ticked over the 500K, so he's $501,000 there. The role we've been talking about, and he's just playing that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised his ownership wasn't higher than what it was.
Yeah, it's the mid status. That's what probably, and structure that scared me as such.
So I worked
Because you went M5, didn't you, V8?
Yeah, and 3 rooks. So
And Roy, you went M6.
Yeah.
But he just gets it everywhere.
He does.
Everywhere.
And he stays out there almost the whole game as well. He doesn't sub off.
So he will be a hugely traded in player this week.
Break even of 24.
And I guess we talked about Xerri before, so let's talk about the most popular moves that we've got in the game. We've got the most popular traded in players, and Tristan Xerri, the Xerri, is there. He's the most traded in player. Next up, Massimo D'Ambrosio, Riley Bonner, Oliver Dempsey, and then Caleb Sarong off the back of the 161. And that's
was
the thing.
thirsty.
Yeah, he's got his price right up there over the $1 million mark, which is,
Well done to
Well
us.
done,
Just
Caleb.
What a game.
Oh, he's thirsty.
They weren't cheap touches
No.
either. He just worked his backside
did.
off and dominated.
Further down the list was your Matt Crouch and Jack Billings as well. So people are all over getting them in to fix up some strategy. Most traded out is Brodie Grundy. So he has been given the axe by a lot of coaches early doors here. Ollie Wines, Jai Newcombe, and the injured pair of Zach Reed and Josh Gibcus are there too. But a couple of other brutal ones. See you later, Zach Fisher. Sick dog because of his suspension. And then obviously Connor Budarick is there too. So a couple further down the list. Let's take that into what moves we're making early doors. Who's up?
Well, I'll go first because I am doing the Grundy to Xerri. I think that's a no-brainer. I'm also going to go fix up a bit of a rookie in the midfield with Jai Clark going to Jeremy Sharp.
Are you really?
Yes, I'm going to do that.
Yeah, okay.
Is that a must
still got
do?
faith
It's
in
not a
Clark.
must-do.
Yeah.
No, but I think, for obvious reasons, I want to fix that one up.
Going so well, you're in luxury trade.
100%
luxury
Roy.
cow.
All right. At the moment, I'm going Grundy to Xerri as well. A little bit devastated that I'm too soft to follow my pre-season thoughts with that. And fixing up structure-wise, I'm actually looking at using some DPP to go
course.
Wines. Yeah, I know. Predictable, Roy. Wines to Billings. And that would actually bank me $265,000 moving forward with some plans in place.
I'm banking coin too,
Are you?
which is, I don't know how I feel about that, but it's probably 2 weeks until I can spend it. But Grundy to Xerri, that gets you a few dollars, but then it's Wines to Bonner. So where my brain is going, I need to get rid of a guy that's not going to go that well cash-wise and even score-wise, and get in someone that's price is heading in the right direction. Bonner could be as much as Wines in 2 or 3 weeks'
without
time.
a doubt.
And
So he's a better player.
Welcome to the club, dog.
yeah, I know. I don't like to be copying you, Calvinator.
Well, that's what you seem to be doing here.
Yeah, $350K in the bank. That'll be nice to go shopping with.
It
Probably
will.
in a couple of weeks' time when some
Big
of these
time.
teams are off their bye.
Yes.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy official.
All right, you can be catching all of us on social media at Warnie DT.
I'm at Roy DT.
That's Calvin DT.
A bit of swagger from at Calvin DT,
No,
I
I'm
reckon,
just
going around.
look, he's doing this. He wants to build me up, and then next week to tear me down.
Just to build me up. Yeah, you
So
will be torn down.
just take a breath, yes, and let me enjoy it.
There's a lot of, I'm not going to say a lot. There's more legends than losers, but on the socials, there is a lot of tear me down type people at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Very negative.
Have some fun. That's what it's
that's
all
it.
about. And plenty of questions have come through, so let's look at these. We'll get through as many as we can.
Okay.
Few minutes of power. Let's go. Is Archie Perkins an option? 130, Roy. Where did he end up in your keeper league?
Oh, I cut him, didn't I?
Yeah,
I
fair
couldn't
enough.
get 50 out of him last year.
And we all needed these forwards, and you still cut a forward that
I
can
know.
score 130.
And then who picked him up?
Is he an option, though,
You.
in Classic?
Oh,
No, he's not.
no.
You
But
can ride some
mind
break
you,
even.
yeah, he looks
He's
great.
actually just a bit too much.
He's 650.
He
That's
looks-
it.
he
Like,
looks
it's just-
great.
If he was in that range of the sub 500K sort
Yeah,
of
I'd
players,
be
you'd
like probably saying
Billings is over 100K less.
Right, well,
So,
you can't
there you go.
justify it.
so Billings is an option. Yes. so that's a good one there for Ash.
think so.
Who did ask the same 2 questions.
Look,
so
I just want to say on Billings, Roy, and I want you to just be careful about this one.
Right.
When we say his name, my eye twitches.
Right.
Okay?
we've
So-
had some experience.
I'm just saying-
Jack
That
Billings
we have.
before.
We have with Heaney as well. Look
Yep.
what the Heen dog did.
Okay, well, we'll work out how that ends. We'll wait and see.
Chessmaster, can you go Hewitt to Crouch or keep Hewitt and see how he goes after his bye?
I'd go to Crouch, I think.
If you've got
So would
nothing-
I.
other things to do, like that is
That's a nice
a good
switch. Doesn't have a buy. Easy.
James wants to know, was Sarong a fluke?
Nah.
Is this what we're seeing?
We're not going to see an average of 160, but it was no fluke. It's like...
Will he be a top 8 midfielder?
Yeah.
And he's going to be better than Brayshaw?
Yeah. See, the thing is, my rolling 22 wasn't that far off. It had Sarong in the 8, but it had Brayshaw ahead of him.
Okay.
And that's not the case anymore.
Brayshaw still had 118.
He did, but the reason is I'm not jumping at the score. I'm jumping at the role. It's Brayshaw, as we suspected after the preseason, that gets pushed out to a wing and stuff, as opposed to Sarong.
Yeah,
so Sarong's locked and loaded in the guts.
So I'm looking at their CBAs here. So Sarong had 85% of it, 578, and then Brayshaw with 70.
Case in point.
John has got this one. Is Heaney a must-have?
No.
Him or Butters to get first, as I have neither at the moment. That's John from Epping, New South Wales. He's let us know. John Sullivan, wonder if he's wearing double denim.
What a weapon.
I hope so.
I hope so as well.
He's not a must-have because it's 1 week closer to his week off. But, God, he's good.
He is good, and he's also 1 week closer to being pushed forward again, Roy.
I don't know. I think even Longmire must now realise that maybe a 70-30 split between mid and forward is what's best for arguably the best player in the competition at the moment.
Longmire and Bevo, they would catch up for coffees.
Oh, wouldn't they? And they'd actually enjoy each other's company.
Did you see what I did on the weekend? See what I did on the weekend? Yes, I did, you little demon.
When we do
Making
our
a mockery.
awards for the best fantasy coach of the year, we're going to have to do our negatives as well.
Oh, couldn't think of any other way.
Who's leading at the moment? Bevo?
It's Bevo after what he did to Sando.
Yep.
Bevo.
Aaron's got this one. Can you guys focus more on break-evens every week? I guess we have done a fair bit.
We have.
I don't
Done
think we
a
do
lot.
most weeks.
Hey.
But the other side of it is go and get Fantasy Coach. You
Yeah.
can check those out. Remember, break-evens are a guide there because you can't predict the future.
No.
Oh, counting captains, bro.
How did you go with your skippers this week?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, very well.
Average of...
A lot.
It was 115, wasn't it?
I wrote it down, actually. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot for the top 10.
Well done.
That's all right. Good work. You can hear those every Thursday night on our live stream, afl.com.au and the AFL Live official apps.
Actually, I got it here. My top 3 averaged 125.
Oh,
That's nice.
Like when he pulls out the top 3.
Yeah.
My top 10, 115.
Okay, what was your top 5?
My top 5, I didn't do that.
Because why? Bont was in there.
Bont was 4. English
course.
was... But
Thanks.
Goulden, Marshall, Green, 1, 2 and 3. Max Gawn's in there at number 6.
Did you have Sarong in your top 10?
Sarong, I think I did.
Jack, at this time of the season, is it better to replace a Jai Clark with a Jeremy Sharp? Someone's doing that.
Well, yes.
Or Nat Fyfe if you have the cash? Good question.
It is a very good question.
Fyfe would also push Darcy Wilson out of F6, so it means Wilson goes to the bench.
I think that is the incentive that maybe gets that one over the line.
Is that as long as Clark was on your bench, though? Because you're not playing Clark. You'd prefer to play Wilson over Clark, would you?
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't, but...
Yeah, but you would, wouldn't you? You have to.
So
after
spend your
that.
cash on
Yeah,
Fyfe.
I think so. Yeah.
Then get Sharp.
So 5, you got to 86.
Yeah, it was
So
very...
Sharp's only, 7 points behind that, though?
Yeah.
For a lot cheaper, and the cash is going to be made.
It's just that looking to remove one of those rookies off the forward line. On the field, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Leanne, who's over in Kansas. Hope I'm not too late for a question. You are not. First out is Cam Mackenzie. Good. Second move is to get a playing rookie on my bench for Zach Reid or move on from Yo. Does Yo get a pass for a baddish round? I'm super annoyed with that score.
Yeah, well...
Safety in numbers.
Yeah, and he got to 70. If
Yeah.
it had been 68 or
You're still the
69,
second highest scorer, wasn't he, in the end?
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, we stick with Yo. No panic stations there.
And we said before, they played Port, they got done by 50, and that's going to be a common trend. But he
couldn't get
was
their hands on the ball.
He was the second highest.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yep.
Be frustrated. Let him know.
Yep.
But, no, hold.
That Reid move's interesting, though, because, you're getting rid of Cam Mackenzie for someone. Hopefully you'll find someone that works for you. But the Reid one doesn't have to happen.
No.
It'd be nice to happen. I'd like to do it, but
Yeah,
I think I'm
it can
more
wait.
better off doing other things. Jimmy has this one. Grundy, Hewitt, Budarick. Which one goes first? See, I'm Budarick ahead of Grundy.
I'm Budarick, number 1 there.
Jeez, I reckon I'd near hold Grundy over Hewitt as
I
well.
would as well.
Yeah, I would.
And Hewitt's one of those guys that
Got to buy it this week.
that's a play that you did. You know, he's underpriced. Let's have a go at it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You
Hasn't
needed
really,
a good score because he's got the bye.
and he's got the bye. He needs to go.
Yeah.
Dale, what do we do with Newcombe? I'd be trading. It's easy to say because I don't have him, but
Easy to say, but I'm the same.
I would be as well.
Can't be doing that.
No. Inexcusable.
Fish and Crip says this one is a restructure to 3 midfield rookies to play. Roy trading Wines down to Sharp on the bench, then upgrading Jai Clark to either Fyfe or Billings in the forward line.
Yeah.
If so, is Fyfe or Billings a priority to trade in? Right, that's a Roy question all over it.
So you're in the exact same boat as me, basically. So I'm certainly considering Sharpie in all of this as well, but I do like I think those midfielders, and it's not rocket science, like we all sort of half knew it, or more than half, that the access to points from the rookies in the midfield are better than anywhere else.
Yep.
But they proved it, like they're getting subbed off and still outscoring those forward ones. So, yes, I like the move. As far as who to pick out of Billings and Fyfe, that's a tough one. Billings and Fyfe both look good, but I'm going to say Billings because of that ceiling we saw.
Matt on Instagram wants to know, do we jump off Caulfield?
I think we do.
Yeah.
I think we do.
And then Josh has sort of got one here, Roy, actionary trade here. Caulfield to Pink to field Howes instead, which would then get Took up to Sarong.
Took was fine.
Yeah. Got a buy coming up.
Yeah.
Sarong obviously is going to be almost unreachable as a price based off this.
He is.
And if he's locked into that role in 22-8, Roy?
He is. Yes, yep, that's a play. It certainly is. You're getting a more elite midfielder, but Took is elite in his own right.
Took got 100 in wet conditions, 9 tackles, 29 touches. Like he was fine.
Like he's back.
He's back.
I think Matt wants a nice little tick here. Grundy to the Xerri Island to allow Amon to Butters.
Lock it.
Tick.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
That's just a nice little restructure, isn't it?
Yep.
Now, are there any standout performers from round one? DR wants to know this, that we should be cautious of getting.
Well, Billings is one. Billings is one. Like, if you can jump on that.
I don't like cautious for that price though.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
I think it's nothing to.
Is our old mate Massimo in that as well?
Well, cautious at that price, like. I don't know. We gave a lot of players a free ride considering how cheap they were.
Yeah.
These guys are in the same boat as that, I think, aren't they? But yes, I don't know what mindset people are in, Cal. You're probably right. If you're thinking Billings 140, wow, he's going to average over 100.
Yeah.
Well, yes, you should be cautious.
Yeah.
But here I am thinking you can average 80. That doesn't require much caution, surely.
No. Okay.
Oh man, John, since you've been gone, hey legends, would you offload Grundy to Xerri if it allowed you to get Caulfield out of D6?
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Who that is to, I'm thinking, does that mean it's like a D'Ambrosio could be the one there for that sort of price
Yeah.
I think so.
range?
It's only a small jump in price, and it's for someone they want to have the ball.
We don't want Caulfield on field.
No.
No, can't do it.
I think there's a few with that sort of idea. I reckon,
Gotta
few
fix that
Johnny's
up.
wanting to do that one.
Yeah.
Cuzzy wants to know, is it Billings or Perkins? It's Billings.
It's Billings.
It's Billings.
Perkins doesn't have a buy.
No, and he looked great.
It's Billings.
A lot asking about Newcombe. I think we've said, you can move.
He goes.
I suppose. Is Heaney a must-have? Cow as a non-owner?
No, he's far from a must-have.
You are really angry about him.
If he didn't have a buy,
Not having him.
if he didn't have a buy,
Yeah,
I'd probably
that's the
say
issue.
I'd say yes. Well, not a must-have.
It's not a must-have. It's a turn.
You don't have to do it. I think it's a hard play with that buy.
It is.
Look, he's not fun to watch at the moment, I'll admit, right? But he's definitely not a
The
must-have.
thing as well, like, we can't trust Horse. That is the problem. Should this guy stay in the midfield? Yes, because he could win a Brownlow. Will he? Probably not.
Nay.
Yeah, exactly right. So it's not a must-have, no. There's still questions, unfortunately.
Daniel has this one. Can I rage trade Tom Stewart? What went wrong?
Oh,
I
look.
think there's a combination of Holmesy and Duncan.
Holmesy.
And even the Saints, just the inside 50 stuff.
That's a mid-pricer I forgot to talk about.
Yeah,
Holmesy.
Holmesy.
His role was certainly
It's a
there.
bit more than a mid-pricer, though, I think. His price is up there a bit
What
more,
is it,
isn't
about
it?
600?
What did he get to in the end?
So he got a 99.
Yeah, price, though, Cal. That's what...
650? Or up to
Holmesy is currently 702.
702.
After going up 17k.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Just in that awkwardy spot.
Yeah. I mean, I did talk about, like, Crouch in that section. So, he could be a flick from Wines or something like that. But I think you're right, Dog. It did affect Stewart. But 85, Stewart does this. He's never averaged 100, remember? It wasn't a disaster.
No.
Is there a world that you'd hold Wines here for Chad?
You could. I don't think I want to, though. He's just nothing like was advertised with his role.
Yep.
So, no, don't like it.
The question here was interesting from Figsy. Would you go Wines to Bruin? So Tanner Bruin. Now, Cats don't have a bye. Tanner Bruin racked up 88 from 65% time on ground. Is that just his thing, the Cats thing? Like, that's why I couldn't go there. We saw it last year too.
Yeah, no, we don't go to Tanner.
No. Avoid.
Yeah. Zach says Ken Hinkley is a liar.
Oh.
Well, he was on Wines.
Yeah, yep. He was a front runner for Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
That's interesting. That's throwing the market into a spin.
It has, because we put so much faith in him.
Yeah.
That his word is his word, and man, oh man, it burnt us badly.
Brad, is Bont to Sarong a good idea, or is it too Roy Actionary?
I think it's too Roy Actionary. Surely Bont comes back with a 120 this week.
Think about the start of last year.
Yeah, he did it.
He
to
had
me
some
for about
90s
5
for
or
3
6
weeks, I think it was,
Yeah.
and then went into full Bont mode.
Look, if he scored 20 points in that third quarter, he would have ended up with 104.
Yeah.
Right? And we probably wouldn't be having the conversation.
No.
It's disappointing, but he had one really bad quarter where he only had 6 points.
So 90, that's probably equal to his worst score last year.
Would have been. But this week, Roy heads to Mars. Funny things happen in Mars.
Oh, God, good and bad.
Here we go.
No. Small
Strap
potato,
yourselves
the sub too.
Oh,
Interesting. Jack McRae, does he come in?
Not at Mars. Not at Mars.
What are the Dogs going to do this week? We do have a big weekend of footy. It is round 2 coming up, and what we do need to know is that it is a first of our bye rounds, and that means it's Brisbane and Carlton on that bye. We have our 2 trades, not like the mid-season buys where you get 3. It's just 2 trades, but it is best 18. So they are your best 18 scorers from your on-field 22. They must be on your field. However, if you've got a 0 on field, your emergency for that line would come on. So a really simple example, if you've got, you leave Zach Williams in your D6 position, he's got a bye, he would be a 0. And I've got Howes there on my bench, and he outscores 4 of the players on your field. He would actually count in your 18.
So you've got access to you've got your access to your emergencies in your best 18.
Yes, you do. Yeah. So that's just like normal rules essentially, is that would come into your 22. Oh, is it in my best 22 scores? Yes. Yeah. That's the logic of it. The other thing is you can use those by players, as far as I understand, as your VC, as your captains, so to do your VC loophole. And it can also be used there for a little bit of emergency loopholing too. That is something that will be a bit of a strategy going through these. Maybe not so much this week because there are minimal players, but in other weeks it might be where you emergency a guy that plays early in the week.
Have a look.
You like the score, leave your leave your blue dot dude on, or you can flick on the other bench guy. But that's something to talk about. In other weeks.
Another day.
So there it is. We have had a big week. Some have had a bigger week than other, Calvinator.
Yes.
And you're up and about. We'll be back with plenty of content throughout the week, Roy, on Wednesday. The old, is it called the stock take these days? Roy's epic article.
Yeah.
Maybe it could just be called that.
It is a good one. Maybe. I was looking at a name change.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's out on Wednesday.
Throw
and
me a
Calvinator.
suggestion or two.
Fantasy Ready, not Friday Fantasy Ready, it's Thursday Fantasy Ready.
Yep.
Still called Freddie.
It's still called Freddie. About lunchtime pops up.
Is it? Yes. So you'll have plenty of good stuff to get you set for this weekend, along with our preview video goes up on Thursdays too. And that leads us into Thursday Night Live, 6:15 Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time for a couple more weeks anyway, Daylight Saving Time. And we'll be on afl.com.au and the AFL Live official app. You can join us there and send us tweets and we'll answer some questions. We'll go through the teams and the success destroy of one of the great segments that we have seen here.
Oh yes, the submarine.
You're on fire.
Yeah.
On fire.
The Marine was on fire. He had a flamethrower. Don't expect that sort of
I can't believe you
success,
picked Finn as well. That didn't make sense.
No.
But they did it.
No, that was a big one.
You're the GOAT.
I am.
GOAT of the sub.
Anyway, there it is. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a brilliant week. Good luck with making your trades. And we'll see you throughout the week for the content. See ya, Cow.
good.
Can you keep your head out the door?
Oh, I don't reckon, dog. Don't reckon.